Hey guys, I said I was going to share some thoughts on writing poetry on this channel, and I'm not really going to be your poetry teacher. I want you to do that yourself. What I want you to do is to play around with it, play around with words, to play around with styles and formats. I think it's very important to be your own teacher. What I think I'm going to do on this channel, though, is I'm going to talk about things that I discovered and things that I played around with and things that I think will help you get words on the page in creative ways that you make your own. And one of the things I want to talk about today is kind of a stream of consciousness poem, a prose like poem that is just one paragraph without punctuation, where you play with the rules of grammar. Maybe just make this one run on sentence with this beautiful point that you want to make, or this idea that uh, really runs together. And as a bunch of ideas, there's something deeper there. Do you want to just keep pecking at, and pulling the string? And sometimes I think it's a very powerful way of processing your emotions and to really capture a moment, rattle off everything. But what you want to do with this is you want to be very mindful of poetic license. You want to be very mindful of your word choice, your diction. You want the words you choose to convey the tone that you're going for. The you want it to sound like a poem. You don't want it to sound like a paragraph out of a textbook. You want to give it life. You want to have alliteration here or there. You want to have internal rhyme. You want to have some assonance. So pay attention to everything you would with a poem. Just write it as one long sentence and see what happens. And today I'm going to read you an example that I actually just kind of did. I don't know if this will be in any book or publication that I do, but it is a rough draft that I just did, and I really hope you like it. There I was with my daily planted popcorn bucket, with a joyous surge of emotion as ovations erupted and the credits played for a film we've been talking about on the podcast for over 2 years. A film that started at the DCU that I got to see early to lead off our coverage, and I felt like a leadoff batter charged with getting a base hit to start the inning. But I wanted a double. Hell, I wanted to clobber the crust off the ball and have the compact string unravel in the clouds as I rounded the bruised bases, because this was a moment I couldn't forget. Even if dementia stormed my mind in old age, the sliver of time would be an uncorrupted vial, a moment preserved by popcorn butter and embalmed in red cherry icy fluid. There I was with my daily planted popcorn bucket, reminded of all the things I believe in. I did a lot with that. I tried to have some imagery in there. I tried to use the simile of being leadoff batter and kind of take you into the imagery of that and the focus that I had to really come through for my teammates on the podcast, and then kind of bring you back to why it was so important to me. And I used an internal rhyme early on. I used emotion as ovations erupted. I took really delicate care of my word choice, but I, some of that is a little after the fact. You get the lines down, and then here's a great example of that. I wanted to clobber the crust off the ball and have the compact string unravel in the clouds as I rounded the bruised bases. Originally, that was just as I rounded the bases, but I thought bruised bases because gave you alliteration in there that really made it feel more like a poem and to give it more life. And there's a lot of things I did in there. And I want you to kind of replay that if you have to, and see what you think about it, and see if you can do that yourself, because it's not hard. It's a concept anyone can do, and it's really cool. So in my book Architecture in Crayon, I have a few poems like this with this style, and I'm really proud of them. I'm really excited about them. These poems I find take a little more editing sometimes because it's hard to string all these thoughts together in a coherent way, but it's really rewarding when it comes together. So there you go. That's the poem of the day and the bit of writing advice for you. Um, Stay poetic.